Okay, so what do you think this is? Looks like two 27-gallon general storage totes. They are different brands, obviously. I'll show you. There's one of them right there. That's the smaller of the two. All right, got some kind of cord on it, spider webs and all. Oh, lovely spider webs. I guess I'm a habitat for spiders. Let me pull this front off. We have a filter in there. And let me take this back to the back, which will illustrate this pretty well, I think. See, if we start at the same base, basically, and we come up, we can see that we got knobs, those little yellow knobs that help it nest. It's just a little bit bigger. It's supposed to be a 20, both of them are supposed to be 27. It happened to be that they would fit together like that. And they are actually bolted together with 4 1/4 20s in location. It really needs, I think, probably another one right here at this handle just to pull the side in a little bit. Because they're not exact matches and they're different manufacturers, there's a slight gap in the piece here. Bang my antenna. And just covered it with black duct tape. So I can take it apart, unbolt it, take it apart. I could silicone it in there, but I might have trouble separating if I need to get back in there for some reason. A little frame, a little filter frame. What size is this? 14 by 20 looks like. The top one, I'm going to finger behind it, it's got a little nut. The bottom one is, I can get it to come off. The bottom one is pop riveted in. So my 14 by 20 by 1, it had to be about the biggest size filter I could get for this. And we see the frame. The frame is just thin gauge, cheap aluminum, bought at any hardware type store, big box store. Got a little corners, some scrap pieces cut left over, made corner pieces. And they're just pop riveted into the corner. Rivet from the inside out so that we don't get the piece poking in there. And then it was antenna getting in the way again. Just kind of mitered in there, squared up as best we can, and used a rotary tool to cut the bottom out. Now the bottom, so you had these little reinforcement ribs like you see on that one right there. And they gave it some stiffness to the bottom, keep it from bowing out, bowing down. And it's mostly flat right through here, as it is on the bottom, as you see. But it does create a little possibility for a little air to suck through the gap and to keep it from showing from this side and looking ugly. And because I can't really get my fingers in there, we filled the spots from the inside, and that stopped it. Now, same way with the fan in the back. You see some rivets in a pattern around the wiring. The fan, if we look real close, we see the copper showing through, and I believe this is still a brushless fan as I remember it. The fan happens to be 20 years old. It's 220 CFM. It's 20 years old. I reclaimed it out of a piece of equipment I had. So, because you don't want to spark. Anytime you're dealing with a combustible dust or vapors, you can't have any sparks. And like a carburetor, the way that works is you have a certain number of exchanges per minute to make sure that whatever vapor or stuff you have is below, it's too lean to explode basically, too lean to fire. It's below the flash point. Too much oxygen, not enough vapor type thing. This is not official. I don't give you any advice. You blow yourself up. Don't come crying to me. But it's just something to kind of collect a little non-combustible dust and draw a little non-combustible vapor. So what do we have in here? Well, let me angle a little bit more toward the sun. So basically it's just an old scrap piece of extension cord. And we just bring through a little strain relief. It's got a little switch, goes up to the fan. Basic. Let's spin this around. The back, as mentioned, has just a sort of a pattern. Picked it just to rivet the bottom to it because I'm actually using it to make a set of table legs basically, and the fan goes in there. And because this has got a shape and a depth to it to add rigidity to the top, it also, like the bottom, you have to use long rivets. And if I can get in here, there we go. See that ugly white silicone? What that is there is a tight little pinch point. See how the shape of the goes back up here, makes that little hole? And right here, anyway, it's touching here, but we do have some gaps, and we end up having to use long rivets to make them pull in there. See what else we got. The little hanger is nothing but a piece of all thread. I think that's what, 3/16 maybe, 3/8. And it just, you know, it's just drilled through there, hanging through there. It's not super sturdy, but then again, you know, you'd have to do really small stuff with something like an airbrush to make sure your air was diluted enough to work. But that's basically it, made out of scrap and a few new pieces some time ago. Works fairly well. We'll give you a demonstration here in just a minute. Okay, here's my little demonstration. Let me blow this out. This is a piece of hickory charcoal where we smoked a chicken or something. And let's see if it shows. I'm going around the edge. I'm actually just right inside the edge. If I bring it to the edge, you can see it seems to trail pretty good. Inside, I don't have enough background. I need the black for it to show. It actually pulls very well, I think. And because we use rectangular totes, you can actually lay it down on its side and put your little model turntable here and be able to spray, you know, like your model car parts and that kind of thing, just about as easily, just about as well. And like I say, you have the chance to do that if you like. And of course, by putting the switch on one side, just turn it switch side up.